Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Regal Live Series. This series aims to enable coaches to establish a successful coaching business. So, Regal Unlimited is a leadership development company that has celebrated a decade of excellence in coaching and coach training. I am Anirudh, your host. I'm grateful for this opportunity where I can speak to so many experts who would enable the coaches to have a flourishing career. Today we have with us Mr. Subash and PK Narayanan. Subash is the founder CEO of Regal Unlimited, which started a decade ago. He is an executive coach who coaches senior leaders to assume greater roles, and is also an ICF mentor coach and assessor. And PK, as we lovingly call him, is a CEO coach for the last 11 years. He helps CEOs and business leaders scale up their business and enhance their leadership presence so that they can position their business for long-term success. To tell you a little more about this series, I invite Mr. Subash to take the stage.
Thank you, Anirudh. It's a pleasure to connect with all fellow coaches and leaders as part of this initiative, LinkedIn Live for all coaches. Coaching is about transformation, transformation of the client. It's a transformational shift, not a transactional shift or a band-aid solution. But what is in it for us coaches as we continue practicing as a coach? It's our brilliant opportunity to learn and grow. So when we choose to become a coach, we're also signing up for a lifelong commitment to learn and learn. And this series is one more small, humble initiative from all of us to enable that learning and growing. Every successful coach, every coach should be successful. That's a dream, right? Every coach out there should be successful. But the definition of success would be different for each one of us. And that's what we're going to explore along the way, right? So this live series is to enable brilliant success, holistic success for every coach out there. And it's a great opportunity for us to learn and grow too. So PK, naturally transition is, what does success mean to you as a professional coach, a CEO coach? Over to you.
Thank you, Subash. Thank you, Anirudh. Difficult to have a common definition, as you indicated. Difficult to have a common definition that is true for all or true for all situations. A successful coach for me, if I have to explain it, I think I will have to oversimplify it to answer it, but still taking that risk. It might mean two things. One is that we feel fulfillment doing what we are doing. And second, we are commercially successful as a coach. So when commercially successful coach, when we say that, we need to have a healthy pipe, a healthy conversion rate, and a healthy revenue month on month, year on year. So that is sustainable, successful coaching business. So when you are able to set it up and when you are able to run it, I think that completes the definition of success for me. And by the way, money is a good word.
Thank you for that, PK. I would like to thank all our participants here who are showing the love by commenting. And I would encourage others also to kindly comment. This is our first live series. It's a weekly series that we are planning on every Thursday from 9 to 9:20 p.m. So please pardon us in case of any glitch, because we also hope to figure out and perfect, much like coaching, as we go along. So as PK and Mr. Subash clearly said, becoming a coach is one thing, but becoming a successful coach is a different ball game altogether. One thing that we see is that there is so much of information out there, that there is so much clutter. To borrow from Shekhar Gupta of the print, let me say, I would like to cut the clutter here. So we asked our participants what would they like us to tackle today, and the question that we got, the most asked question was, what is the first step a coach should take to establish a successful coaching business? So I would invite you to kindly share your insights, and you can take it forward from there.
I'll take that, PK.
Yep.
Yeah.
Please.
For me, the first step, my friends here, fellow coaches, are familiar with the golden triangle that they always refer to. The first step is to become a coach. Robin Sharmas of the world are one in a generation, but I think most of us would benefit by becoming a coach. That is, the training, the coach training, which is kind of ICF approved accredited programs that is available globally. So trained, certified, credentialed by entities like ICF or EMCC, and someone who continue to practice. No, it's just not that you get your credential and then you stop practicing. No, there is more practice required after you get the credential, and then also parallelly continue to work on ourselves. The deep work that the book title carries, or the self work that we speak of. So trained, certified, credential, practicing, and also someone who works on deep work. This is the long answer for a short question. That is a starting point to become a coach. The second one is over to you, PK. Your expertise and what you're popular for in the coaching circles. Over to you.
Yeah, that's well said. I think it is like getting a license to drive the vehicle. Might be a great driver, but still having a license helps. For me, Anirudh, the first thing in starting coaching career is that you already mentioned becoming a coach is one thing and running a successful coaching business is another. If we want to do coaching as a business, I would consider the first thing and the foremost thing to do is that we need to bring our whole self into our coaching sessions. So what do I mean by the whole self? We as we are, with our experience, with our expertise, with the skills that we have, the passion or the what I love doing, the personality that we are to drive the business. See, in many of the situations, after coach training and few conversations with the coaches or coach trainers, we somehow tend to develop a feeling that our experience, our expertise, including the domain knowledge or subject matter expertise, is a limiting factor. It's actually not. It's never a liability. Instead, it is great enabler. It provides the base from which we can operate as a coach. So my encouragement or my first point or the first place or the first step, as you asked, to start a coaching career is that we use our experience, our expertise, our domain knowledge. All of us are experts in something. We have spent some time in corporate or some time doing something before getting into coach training. So we need to use them, and we need to use them as an enabler. This doesn't mean we do consulting or mentoring, and that is what the coaches immediately assume. It is not. We still do coaching, and coaching well at that, polishing our core competencies and practicing and practicing and practicing. We don't need to be apologetic about our experience. So this is one thing that I wanted to, to accentuate. We don't need to be apologetic. We don't need to be feeling guilty of our experience or domain knowledge or sector expertise or whatever. In fact, that defines us, or that defined us so far in life until we started coach training, isn't it? So we don't need to feel guilty about that, and we don't need to feel guilty about what we know. So first and foremost is that we need not feel constrained or limited in any way by our own experience or skill or subject matter expertise. To be a good coach, we don't need to forget that. We don't need to ignore that. We don't need to dump all that we know, what we have learned, and what we are. Rather, we can capitalize on that. So to become a successful coach, be the whole self that we are. We can be a great coach with the experience that we have, the expertise that we have, the specific subject matter expertise that we have. And that is what I mean by whole self. And in fact, we can use them in our own way to become a great coach, use them as enablers in the process, and we can become great coaches by doing that, and successful ones too. So we could see how, of course, in our future live session. So that is my encouragement for my fellow coaches.
I want to just come in, Anirudh. Thanks, PK, for the thoughts. Now, this series, we are going to challenge a lot of beliefs that we coaches carry.
Mm.
I'm sure some friends are there already on the call from the coaching community. How can I leverage my subject matter expertise is a first shock.
Mm.
And both PK and me, we are very clear about the ICF code of ethics. Within the framework of ICF, you can dance with the client to enable the client. So subject matter expertise, I want to really drive home this point that your subject matter expertise is your strength, like PK brilliantly said. Second, we are going to challenge you, we are going to challenge ourselves, we are going to bring a lot of counterintuitive insights into these conversations. Yeah, talk to you, Andrew.
So one of the things that we see very commonly on the internet is that a lot of the people, the experts, speak about the what of things. So in this series, we aim to bring in the how of the what. Because as growing up, I used to hear the teachers say, you must concentrate. So I knew that I have to concentrate. But how do I concentrate? And that was never told to us. So if I may summarize the discussion so far, number one, the first step would be get credentialed. And number two would be to bring your whole self, bring your subject matter experience. So PK, if I may ask you, what can our listeners and our viewers today take away from this segment as an actionable item to bring in the subject matter expertise starting today?
Yeah, to orient the mindset as an enabler about our own skills, our own experience, our own expertise, and not to be apologetic. And to be a great coach, we don't need to be dumb.
So I'd like to take this opportunity to thank everyone who has very graciously commented. Money also speaks about fulfillment plus commercial as success. Sheila asks, does success mean only money?
Interesting. Since I mentioned that money is not including the money who is in attendance is not a bad word. Both spellings. In particular, MONEY is very much a measure of success to an extent that we can then decide how to use it. Yeah, so having money is a fantastic thing, and how to use it is the choice that we need to make, is my way of looking at it. And if you don't generate money to support yourself, your family, your social lifestyle, and things like that, things may not be sustainable. That is one aspect about it. And second is that, as money also agreed, fulfillment is something that will keep us going. If we get a lot of money, but we are not happy with what we are doing at the stage in life that most of the coaches are, it might not be again sustainable. So to be sustainable, we need to enjoy what we are doing, and it needs to ring the counters in the bank account.
So getting certified and developing the right mindset would be the first step.
The mindset that our experience is a limitation. We need to get out of that. We need to break that. Our experience is our power. Our experience is our enabler to be a great coach. And our experience, our subject matter expertise is definitely an advantage.
So
I talk most of it from my own experience and what I have seen over 11 years, 12 years in this coaching circuit.
thank you, PK. So to continue on the same thread, I would like to ask Mr. Subash that
Before that, if I may, immediately an assumption that most of us coaches do is that I'm talking about mentoring and consulting. So at the cost of repetition, it is not.
it's very true. So to carry the same thread, I would one of the things that we see in coaching is in the evoking awareness segment is challenging beliefs. So what can coaches do right now to challenge the mindset that their experience is a baggage and not an enabler? How can they break that belief, or rather metamorphosize that belief?
It's a big one. It's a very good question and a big one also. Because, the framework allows the coach to challenge the client's, that 7.1 beliefs, assumptions, and all that stuff, which was earlier, the powerful questioning first competency. So, but, when it comes to holding the mirror for myself as a coach, it's not easy. So, every time, one of our coaches in Chennai used to say, every client is a default coach. If the coach is present really at a deeper self, and if the coach is taking some time to reflect after the session, the coach will be able to grab some of these limits, some of those things without losing presence and without diluting the conversation. Then take help. It's always good to take help. During our coaching unlimited in Chennai, I mean, I shared something about money in the session, and picked up small thing. But for me it was, what is my belief around spending and money, right? About spending, not about earning. So those are things that keep coming. A lot of things which are kind of pushed down keeps coming. Then are we in a state of mind to capture it, explore it, accept it, and get help? And I don't know, we have conversation with fellow coaches or go back to your mentors and kind of resolve it. That's one way. Yeah. Anything else, PK, comes up?
Yeah, to shift the mindset, we need to look at what we are doing. Are we being authentic self on the table? The more we are trying to keep away our domain expertise, the more we are trying to keep away our learnings, our experiences, our skills, what I am now in this moment, the more you try to suppress it, with more vengeance it comes back at you. And who will be the casualty? Presence will be the casualty. The coaching presence, which is the most important core competency that I consider, in my view, will suffer. So that is one part within the coaching session. But outside the coaching session, it plays havoc because it directly impacts our ability to position ourselves, generate leads, to be confident, and to be courageous under our own skin. For a coach, it is very important to be comfortable under our own skin.
So, coaches, with your permission, as we have 4 minutes left for this wonderful session. I was just going through the chat box, and there's a fantastic question from one of my peers, Ganesh Iyer. He asks, how do you constantly bombard yourself in your mind to hold on for some time till you start getting clients at the initial stages once you're certified? Over to you.
I'll answer this first, PK, because then I want you to please give your point. For me, the best example, Ganesh, is PK. PK has a CEO background, managed business, but he's primarily chartered accountant. You and me come from sales background. But where PK has demonstrated success year after year, month after month, for so many years as a coach it's the process orientation for me. because I always, I mean, I might have said this in the class also. It's about process compliance, simplifying, and doing the basics right and well. Right and well. The small things he keeps fine tuning. He says his blogs are short because he says the amount of time that is needed to get a short blog, right? So it is about identifying the activities, sticking to them, Six Sigma, and again to grab a point from PK, one of his popular theory is that tap into a network. Your network, like your background and experience, is your core strength. Your network is your biggest opportunity. Yeah, PK, over to you.
Oh, very well said, Subash. Absolutely well said. Process orientation is absolutely something that can be handy. And for Mr. Iyer, essentially aside when you are getting certified, if you could think through who will be the best people that you can help as a coach, identifying them, narrowing that area, narrowing that specialization, and promoting messaging and communication in LinkedIn or whichever way that you are present, digitally and in person, talking about the area that you want to create a difference to the people that you think you can make a big difference. And if you think we can make a difference to 140 crore Indians, I think that's what I consider a recipe for failure. So you need to instead choose 140, define a population of 140 while you are getting certified, and chase them after you're certified. That way we don't need to bombard ourselves for too long with questions, because you will get early clients and consistent clients, and your funnel will become quite healthy before soon.
So, gentlemen, as we are towards the last minute, I take the responsibility again to thank both of you for taking the time out from your busy schedules in the middle of the week.
My pleasure, Anirudh. My pleasure. And thank you for being the host.
Thank you so much. And I would like to tell all our listeners and viewers that I'll be going through the comments once it's live, once it's posted on our page and on YouTube. And whatever you would like us to take forward in the next session, we would like us to address, we can make that as a topic. One thought I have is, as we conclude the session, understanding your niche seems to be a great talking point for the next session. But I'll anyway go through the comments. Thank you all for joining, and look forward to seeing you on next Thursday as well, from 9 to 9:20 p.m. Indian Standard Time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Thank you
for joining.